Okay guys, there is a little girl that got unalived in the house while her parents were sleeping, and the case is still unsolved. Her name is JonBenet, right? She was 6 years old. I saw y'all comments and y'all told me to go look into this, and what the hell? From all the evidence that I heard, this case should be solved. So boom, it's Christmas night, 1996. The Ramsey family spends an evening with friends. Now listen, they leave the party at 9:30 p.m. because tomorrow morning they got an early flight. They're driving home. JonBenet falls asleep in the car. They get home. Her dad, John Ramsey, carries her upstairs, puts her to bed. Her mother, Patsy Ramsey, helps her get settled. And then her older brother, Burke Ramsey, who's 9 years old, he goes to his room. And the house goes quiet. And this is the last time that anyone has seen JonBenet Ramsey alive. So now it's the next morning. It's like 5 a.m. Patsy is going down the stairs to make coffee or something. I don't know what she's doing. Now listen to this, right? As she's going down the stairs, she sees something on the step. And it's a note. She picks it up and starts reading. And it says, JonBenet has been kidnapped. Don't call the police. And we're not bringing her back unless you give us $118,000. We will call with instructions somewhere between 8 and 10 a.m. Patsy runs upstairs. She wakes up her husband. He's reading the note. She's over here tweaking. They get up and start searching the house. First, they go to JonBenet's room. She's not in there. They go to the older brother's room. She's not in there either. They go to the front room. They check in all over the place. They don't see her. And at 5:52, Patsy calls the police anyway.
911 emergency.
Police.
What's going on?
515th Street.
What's going on there, ma'am?
We have a kidnapping. Hurry, please.
Explain to me what's going on, okay?
There's a note left and our daughter's gone.
A note was left and your daughter is gone? How old is your daughter?
6 years old. She's gone. 6 years old.
How long ago was this?
I don't know. I just found the note. And my daughter's
Does
gone.
it say who took her?
What?
Does it say who took her?
I don't know. There's a ransom note here.
It's a ransom note?
It says SBTC. Victory. Please.
Okay, what's your name? Are you
Patsy Ramsey, I'm the mother. Oh my God. Please.
I'm sending an officer over, okay?
Please.
Do you know how long she's been
No,
gone?
I don't. Please, we just got out. Is she right here? Oh my God, please.
Okay,
Please, there's somebody.
I am, honey.
Please.
Take a deep breath,
Please,
okay?
hurry.
Patsy, Patsy.
Now the police, they get there quick. And they get up in that house and they're looking at this like a kidnapping. They search parts of the house, but not everything. And that's because the ransom note strongly implied that JonBenet wasn't there. They're looking around and they're like, okay, it doesn't look like anyone forced entry. Nothing's broken. So they call the FBI. Now, some investigators felt like something wasn't quite right. Now look at this. This is the ransom note and it's 3 pages long. Now this just the first thing that I'm gonna let you know about evidence-wise. But 3 pages? Who kidnaps somebody and leaves you 3 pages to read? But let's keep going, right? So the family waits for that phone call I told you about from 8 to 10 a.m. That call never comes. The police have gone out searching. She ain't been found. Nothing has happened. So the FBI tells John Ramsey and his family, search that house from top to bottom. There's gotta be something out of place. Now listen to this. John goes to the basement and there's a small room down there tucked away and it has no windows. He opens the door and JonBenet's body is up in there. She has duct tape on her mouth, a cord around her neck, and she's covered with a blanket. And he carries her upstairs crying and screaming, which that's valid. You just found your daughter unalive. So now at this point, the investigation now turns into a crime scene. And everything is contaminated now because the family was up in there touching stuff, cleaning stuff, moving stuff. How fucking convenient. But yeah, this is a homicide now. Now, just like you and me and everybody else, we're all wondering the same thing. Why would the perpetrator leave a ransom note claiming they kidnapped your daughter and demand $118,000 and leave the body in the house? It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't. I'm not going to say it. I'm not. Listen to the rest of this. So the autopsy comes out. It says here, JonBenet suffered a massive head injury, a skull fracture caused by extreme force. Second, she was strangled using a ligature device, which, what the fuck is that? It says a cord tightened with part of a broken paintbrush, which By the way, the paintbrush came from Patsy's art supplies. It also says, medical examiners conclude this was not an accident. This was on purpose. Now let's get to the ransom note. This is what everyone's debating about. Now you guys remember, the ransom note demanded exactly $118,000, right? And that's oddly specific, and it happens to match a bonus that John Ramsey received from work. Which, when I heard this, how would they know that? Even stranger, says here, investigators determined the note was written using a pen and paper from inside the house. There's even practice notes found left in the house. And you want to know who the notepad belonged to? Patsy. I'm not going to say it. Defamation is real. That means whoever wrote that ransom note felt comfortable enough to sit up inside that house and write 3 pages. Look, you know what? I have the note. Let's read it together. Okay, listen to this. Mr. Ramsey, listen carefully. We are a group of individuals. This handwriting is atrocious. We're a group of individuals that represent a small foreign faction. We respect your business, but not the country that it serves. At this time, we have your daughter in our possession. She is safe and unharmed, and if you want her to see 1997, you must follow our instructions to the letter. You will withdraw $118,000 from your account. $100,000 will be in $100 bills, and the remaining $18,000 in $20 bills. This is my first time reading this. Is that normal to tell them what? Make sure that you bring an adequate size attached to the bank. When you get home, you will put the money in a brown paper bag. I will call you between 8 and 10 a.m. tomorrow to instruct you on delivery. The delivery will be exhausting, so I advise you to be rested. If we monitor you getting the money early, we might call you early to arrange on earlier delivery of the money, and hence, I don't know what that says. Maybe it's arrange the pickup of your daughter. Any deviation of my instructions will result in the immediate execution of your daughter. You will also be denied her remains for proper burial. The 2 gentlemen watching over your daughter do particularly like you, so I advise. They know him? Really? I advise you not to provoke them. Where does he work? Is it a coworker? Speaking to anyone about your situation, such as police, FBI, etc., will result in your daughter being beheaded. If we even catch you talking to a stray dog, she's gonna get unalived. If you alert bank authorities, she's gonna be unalived. If the money is in any way marked or tampered with, she's gonna be unalived. You will be scanned for electronic devices, and if any are found, she is gonna be unalived. You can try to deceive us, but be warned that we are familiar with law enforcement, countermeasures, and tactics. You stand a 99% chance of unaliving your daughter if you try to outsmart us. Follow our instructions, and you stand a 100% chance of getting her back. You and your family are under constant scrutiny as well as the authorities. Don't try to grow a brain, John. You are not the only fat cat around. Fat cat is crazy. So don't think that unaliving will be difficult. Don't underestimate us, John. Use that good Southern common sense of yours. It is up to you now, John. Victory SBTC. And they wrote this in the house. And one thing people were thinking about, Patsy called the police like immediately. And I was wondering, so in the comments, let me know what you think. Would you have called the police immediately if you got that note? Or would you have waited for the phone call? Now guys, when this information got out to the public, they wasn't effing with it, the media is going in. They're thinking like this. It has to be either somebody they know, maybe one of John's coworkers, because I don't know how they knew the exact bonus amount. Maybe one of his friends, somebody that's used to being in that house. I've heard that when something gets stolen from your house, it's usually somebody you know. They were also thinking, okay, who else would know about the $118,000? Patsy? His wife Patsy would know. And people were like, bro, her paintbrush was used, her notepad was used, and she's the one that found the note. So some people were like, hey, check that handwriting. It gotta match somebody up in there. They tested that too, and nothing was conclusive. But in the last couple years, some experts analyzed the ransom note, and they think it does match Patsy. And of course, still some don't. Like, come on. Some people are like, no, I think it's John, the father. He's the one that found the body, and he might be like one of them abusive drunk dads. Now, I looked that up, and there are currently no reports of him having alcoholic problems. Now, guys, at one point, a lot of people started to believe that her brother did it, Burke Ramsey, who would be 9. They believe that while the parents were sleeping, Burke Ramsey got out his bed, went to his sister's room, unalived her, then brought her downstairs. They think that maybe he was jealous because, like, I guess JonBenet was known to be a pageant girl, and maybe she was like getting all the attention from the parents and he didn't like that. Now guys, I'm going to show you a video clip of Burke Ramsey being questioned by the police. When they investigated the house, there was this bowl of pineapples and like a cup of tea. And pineapples were also found in JonBenet's stomach. So the police questioned John and Patsy about this bowl of pineapples. And they both say they don't recall serving JonBenet pineapples that night or the bowl even being there. Now here's the thing, the bowl had fingerprints from the mom and the brother. And this tore everybody up because it's like, so y'all don't know about the pineapples, but y'all prints are on there. Somebody had to have woken up JonBenet and gave her pineapples, bro. Now in this clip, look at how Burke responds to being asked about the pineapples.
That's the dining room table.
Can you describe that to me?
The bowl of something.
Right.
Looks like glass with a tea bag in it.
So when people saw this, it kind of seems like Burke knew about those pineapples, right? Am I tripping? It's like he knows he's not supposed to say something about them. Something's off. Now guys, when they found her body, the family hired attorneys immediately, like a day or two after. And then at one point, you could only talk to them through attorneys, and these were like some top tier legal professionals. The Ramsey family was wealthy, bro. And they didn't immediately submit to a full formal police interview. And some people thought that was unusual, low-key suspicious. Others was like, well, of course they did that. This is a high-profile investigation. Now, guys, they tested JonBenet's clothes for DNA, and it identified an unknown male. So what this means is it doesn't identify the perpetrator, and it also doesn't clear anybody either. The reason for this is because clothing can often transfer DNA, meaning it can get there indirectly. So for example, let's say there were new clothes. This could be the retail worker, the package handler, the factory worker. Another example would be like person A touches a table, then person B touches the table in the same spot, then person B touches the clothes. Then see, person A's DNA could be on the clothes without even touching it. On top of that, first responders, nurses, multiple people handled her body and clothes. So I guess at this point there wasn't any strong, conclusive evidence. So in 1999, they get together a grand jury. And for over a year, the jurors hear evidence. And when it ended, the jury voted to indict John and Patsy Ramsey for child abuse related charges tied to JonBenet's unaliving. But the district attorney decides not to sign it. Now, you might not know what an indictment is. Basically, the grand jury votes if there's enough evidence to charge the person. Then it goes to a trial. The reason why the district attorney didn't sign the indictment is because he didn't believe they had enough evidence to win this trial. So when that got out, you already know, everybody was pissed off. I was pissed off. And legally now, this case remains unsolved. And it's been 30 years now. The case is still open. And let's say they even did find new evidence that Patsy did it, that they can charge her. She's not even alive anymore. She passed away from ovarian cancer 10 years after JonBenet's unaliving. So it wouldn't even matter anymore. Now, the last thing that I want to bring up, Dr. Phil 10 years ago interviewed Burke Ramsey. He's now like 25 or something. And this whole time, he hasn't done like any interviews about his sister's unaliving. Now, I'm watching this interview and I think I want to say it was kind of disturbing because Dr. Phil is like asking these questions and like the whole time he just got this like awkward smile, bro, throughout the whole thing. Dr. Phil asked him if he did the unaliving. Burke's like, no. Dr. Phil asked Burke if he read the ransom letter. He's like, nah, I never really got into really looking deeply into it. He said reading it doesn't really make him feel good and it kind of puts him into like a PTSD where he's living the past. I don't know, but I watched a body analyst video about him in that interview and they said this could be like him being nervous or, you know, a little scared. He's not used to being on live TV, you know, which I do know that can happen. When something makes you feel uncomfortable, it can cause you to like do uncomfortable laughs. But yeah, y'all gotta watch. Just go look at it, bro. It's crazy. I'm surprised that I'm just now hearing about this case. But yeah, rest in peace, JonBenet, and my condolences to all of the people that are not the unaliver. Okay, this story ends here. As I always say, what do you think about this? Guys, we're at 2.2 million followers. I never thought that I'll be hanging out with you guys, being a content creator, and now we're streamers and we watch the videos together. I'm happy to be on this journey with you, and it's crazy because I'm actually a music artist. This is what I love to do. I really just make the videos for y'all. So if you could do anything, can you please follow the page for me? Now, outside of all this, Dead Gang, remember, it was just you. You had a plan. There is a child version of yourself inside of you that believed in something, that dreamed of something, that wanted something. Everybody left him behind, which means you can't. If you don't want to try anymore, fine, but at least do it for them. They deserve it. I know that you're discouraged, but you are getting so close. We only get one life, and on Dead Gang shit, we not finna live it like no weak motherfucker. On Dead and them, we got work to do. So don't forget to pop your shit, star.
I shouldn't have to go undercover just to find out if you're going out with another. But I roll the dice, I go on a drive, you calling me insecure until I caught you out here lacking 4K. You always wore a mask on Halloween, but I didn't know that this was something that you do every night. The day that I realized that I had made a mistake, I'm crying, wish I was dead. Top 10 anime betrayals. How can I love and then hate you? If that's what it was, why didn't you say so? If you want it all to die, I can whip the chopper out, never running out of rounds. I can leave without a sound.